Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Talita Malaneva from Informatic Engineering class CI22T. I will make a presentation for an object-oriented programming course assignment with the title Deciphering the Divergence Functional Programming versus Object-Oriented Programming. First, I will explain about functional programming. Point 1 is focus on the evaluation of expression. Functional programming revolves around the idea of evaluating expression rather than executing sequence of commands. It emphasizes defining function and applying them to data. Next point is emphasize on what to solve rather than how to solve. In functional programming, the emphasis is on specifying what needs to be done rather than how it should be done. This leads to a more declarative style of programming where the focus is on expressing logic without describing the control flow explicitly. Next point is immutable data and pure function. Functional programming encourages the use of immutable data structure, meaning once data is created, it cannot be changed. Additionally, it promotes the use of pure function, which produce the same output for the same input and have no side effect. Example, functional programming language include Haskell, Scala, and Clojure, among others. This language provides robust support for functional programming paradigm, making it easier for developers to write code in a functional style. Next is object-oriented programming. The point 1 is organize code into object. Object-oriented programming, or OOP, divides the code into objects, which are instances of classes. This object encapsulates both data behavior. Next point is emphasize on how to solve by defining classes and methods. OOP focus on designing classes that represent real-world entities and defining methods to perform action on those objects. It emphasizes the implementation details of how tasks are accomplished. Next point is encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. OOP feature encapsulation where data is bundled with methods that operate on that data. It also supports inheritance, allowing classes to inherit attributes and methods from other classes. Additionally, it enables polymorphism, allowing objects to be treated as instances of their parent class. In simple terms, object-oriented programming is like building with Lego blocks. Each block object has its own shape or data and can perform specific action or method. You can assemble this block into larger structure or classes and reuse them as needed. Next slide is core concept comparison. First, functional programming. Immutable data means data cannot be changed after it's created. Pure function, it means function produce the same output for the same input and have no side effect. Higher order function, it means function can take other function as argument or return function as result. Declarative style, it means emphasize expressing the logic of a computation without describing its contour flow. Second is object-oriented programming. Mutable data, it means data can be modified after it's created. Method and classes, it means code is organized into classes containing data or attributes and method or function. Encapsulation, it means bundling data and methods that operate on the data into a single unit or class and restricting access to some of the object's components. Inheritance and polymorphism, it means object can inherit attribute and behavior from parent classes and can be treated as instance of their parent classes. Polymorphism allows objects to be treated as instance of their parent class even if they belong to a subclass. Next, the example of functional programming. Imagine you have a list of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In functional programming, you want to double each number in the list. Instead of looping through each number and doubling it one by one, functional programming allows you to use a function called map. This function takes another function as input and applies it to each element in the list. So, in our example, we use map with a simple function, multiply each number by 2. The result is a new list where each number from the original list has been doubled. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. For the example of object-oriented programming, Now let's think about modeling a circle in an object-oriented way. A circle can be characterized by its radius. In object-oriented programming, we create a blueprint for object called a class. Our class for a circle might have a property or field for the radius. We also define a method within the class to calculate the area of the circle. When we create a circle object using this class, we provide it with a radius, e.g. 5 units. Then we can call the method getArea on this object, which calculates the area of the circle based on its radius using the formula PR square. So in our example, we create a circle with a radius of 5 units. We then call a getArea method on the circle object, which returns the area of the circle approximately 78.54 square units. Pros and cons functional programming. Pros: severe concurrency, it means immutable data prevents data corruption in concurrent environment. Concise and readable code, it means declarative style focus on what needs to be done rather than how, leading to clear code. Cons: steeper learning curve. Functional programming concepts such as higher order function and immutability may be unfamiliar to developers accustomed to imperative programming. Potential inefficiency, it means some functional programming construct may lead to less efficient code compared to imperative alternative in certain scenarios. Next, pros and cons object-oriented programming. Pros: modularity and reusability. It means encapsulation allows for the organization of code into self-contained objects, promoting modularity and reusability. Familiarity, it means object-oriented programming mirrors real-world entities, making it easier for developers to understand and reason about code. Cons: mutable state, it means mutable data can lead to unintended side effects and make code harder to reason about. Verbosity, it means object-oriented code can sometimes be more verbose compared to functional alternative due to the need for class definition and method class. For class definition and method calls, in simple terms, functional programming, good for concurrent environment, clear and concise code, watch out for learning curve, potential inefficiency. And for object-oriented programming, good for modularity, reusability, and familiarity. Watch out for mutable state and verbosity. The conclusion for this session is understanding the difference between functional programming and object-oriented programming is crucial for selecting the appropriate paradigm for different projects. Both paradigms offer a unique approach to solving problems and have their own set of strengths and weaknesses. Consider the requirement, team expertise, and project constraint when choosing between the two paradigms. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching and see you next time.